Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. The Twitch is going. Let me get my Rumble over here. Rumble is going. YouTube is going. And Kick is going. And Twitter is going. So it looks like everything's going online. Give me another moment to check my other computer. Oh wait, need to active live chat window as well. There we go. And I think everything's good to go on this computer. Let me double check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. I almost forgot what Advance Wars was talking about. It's on the bottom right side as the blue Zhao Tetong. We got Come Swallower. Small on top left side as the yellow Brat. We got Dio the Beast, who is not playing as the Beast. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Both these COs are custom COs. Grat has standard boarding cost, no radius, 20, 50, 50. She does provide plus 10% offensive defense, and units that start their action inside the CO zone get plus 1 max range. Allows to project forward quite effectively. Spawn, and of course for her superpower, does have 2 max range. Additionally, her power and initial CO zone generation is a little bit quicker. But with only plus 10, it's actually somewhat difficult to get her CO zone generated, particularly when she only has 0 initial expansion. Zhao Tetong is a custom CO as well, whose gimmick has 90% boarding cost, so effectively he gets a 90% rebate or refund on whichever unit he deploys into. So he should be a CO who try to push very aggressively a CO unit, cause not much else there. And he has no other effects. Cannot board naval units located in HQ as well. Either way, that's it. I think that was a little bit... I wasn't sure if that was actually a nerf or they added that. I don't remember seeing that there before. But I think that could have been that was something always the case. Or maybe it was a recent nerf. Because there's a lot of games where there is a naval unit on top of the HQ. Or a lot of maps, not games. And so you could probably, in theory, if that wasn't technically in effect, you could CO a naval unit, get the 90% refund, and then delete it. Which would be stupid, really overpowered. Because that would give you such a momentum swing. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. There's also a pair of comm towers, a decent number of puddles here in the form of rivers, as well as beaches. So some of the ponds are swimmable, some of the other ones are not. And if you can also give me another moment, I have a drink I need to open up, so you may hear a click. My apologies, that looks like it blew it out. My microphone. There's also some radar stationed on this map. In this case, it will do nothing. However, it does provide 3 defense stars. Suppose the city's just 2 defense stars. And they do provide income. In Days of Ruin, almost every tower or capturable tower does provide income, while in Advanced Wars by Web, and of course the other day Advanced Wars, they don't provide income. So basically, at put all property is valuable in Days of Ruin. And also temporary airports are pretty valuable as well, even though those don't provide income, they're still pretty nice. You now have bike and infantry, so do have the first looks got a bike up here as well. For me, I always want to see players try to either deploy themselves into an anti-aircraft. I have a running theory that a Grat loaded up into an early anti-aircraft can be very powerful. It has similar mobility and cost to a tank, so but allows you to really snipe infantry units quickly. And Grat only becomes very powerful, or honestly borderline useful, when she gets her +1 CO zone to enable support other units. In comparison to other CO that only has initial expansion just to herself, Tabata is a beast regardless what units she puts in, and is immensely powerful. Even though Tabata has standard energy costs, it is easier to get +1 CO zone for Tabata than it is for Grat. Somehow, what seems like could be incredibly powerful CO Grat is actually not that incredibly powerful. It's weird. Her power just seems like it should be absurd, but it's not. And does load herself up to a tank there. She basically has to get the first shot off on another tank. Oh, got a mech up north. Mechs offer the same firepower as tanks and battlecopters. They all have equal capabilities, or at least firepower. But, of course, each one's very different when it comes to mobility. After all, mechs, I always will say, they counter everything, but they get countered by everything. See Zhao Titanlong, who also technically has 1 radius, or 0 radius. But in this case, it's purely meant for the refund. Nice, quick 6 energy there. It'll take at least 2 more kills at minimum, or get her CO zone +1. Tank. And he just charges forward with his tank, which is questionable. And as well, this thing is effectively a 700 fund tank, not a 7,000 fund tank. And he can just simply charge forward this tank in order to support this tank. Problem is, I'm just always a little bit hesitant for somebody to push too far forward to Grat's CO zone. You can't be giving her free CO energy. When she gets to 1 CO zone, that's when she becomes a monster. Right now we do have 72,000 on the field versus 52. See quite a bit of force on the field. Does take out that unit there. She's at 11 energy. She needs 9 more energy. But there's no infantry nearby to give her a quick amount of energy. Of course, got some very healthy tanks and a 7 health infantry unit there. So she will have to contend with these tanks, but she does have a nice core of tanks here. Tank. Bike recon. Good shot there. Of course, we've got another Zhao Titanlong tank, which now costs 700 funds. As opposed to Grat, which costs 13,500 for her command vehicle. Tank, battlecopter, and tank. And one less spike as well. Pulls back the tank there. That tank pushes forward, gets a nice quick kill. She's at 16 energy. So next attack she can get +1 range, which can be very useful. Got a mech here as well. She may just sack the mech into the tank there. Not much more it could possibly do. Besides, she's a meat shield though. Got a medium tank up here, as well as another tank bike. Picks off the wounded tank there, the Zhao Titanlong tank. Going to capture there, has 9 capture progress remaining. Battlecopter is straightforward, another battlecopter there. Tank, bike, and bike. Nice quick picks there. A lot of entry units going down at 94 versus 60,000, so Grat's fallen pretty far behind, but she should get her CO zone range increase. In fact, if you look here, she can push forward, get on top of the shore, and attack, and for that will give her a +1 CO zone. And then this zone, a spot there, will be available to push forward right here and then get a range attack there. Because one, it will start within the CO zone right here and will be so in the CO zone to continue getting energy there. That's how I would like to see that. And that... Oh, and the recon just gets shot there. And does not take a follow-up shot there. I'm not sure why she didn't go for a follow-up shot there. Oh, because if she were to kill off that tank, means you just load up another vehicle. Keeping this thing wounded prevents it from being successfully reloaded. He has probably got to sack tank, which he does. Now he can't load up a CO unit this turn, as you have to start your turn with no CO zone. So you can't delete or sack your CO unit to redeploy. By the way, you got 67,077 plus his day-to-day funds. Battlecopter recon or bike. Decides not to finish off within the CO zone, not sure why. And yep, you could have pushed back the CO zone to fire from there as well, just get that CO zone charge. That could have been 6, potentially 7 energy there. Because the Grot's zero power is actually really strong, getting everything globally +2 range is quite powerful. You effectively get 1 turn you can attack for free. Battlecopter can be shot down with the ATR from its current location. Then this 5 health tank can move right there, take a shot there, merge the 4 health tank, and then maybe the full health tank and finish it off. But you got a very good core of tanks here. You got an anti-tank here as well. You got the CO battlecopter there, effectively making a 900 fun battlecopter. Did not take the shot there with the CO unit. A lot of questionable plays, I would say. Well, unless it was out of ammo. I saw it was low on ammo. I didn't check how much ammo it had. But even then, the machine gun could have pitched some damage in. Now as well, the Force does provide 3 defense stars. That's probably one reason why this tank actually stayed alive. Both players have 1 comp at the moment, and the command copter does strike the medium tank. Tank. 102 versus 70. Grot's still pretty far behind. Finish off that tank there. Pulls back the command tanks there. Does use the boot attack there. She does have a superpower available that could be useful and help stabilize the game. Puts a good amount of damage there on the battlecopter, and also does not get shot down, so that's good. Probably leave it alive. Sacks the unit there to interrupt the capture. Tank, bike. It does pop her superpower immediately. Now she gets +2 range in all units globally. We'll be able to make some good hits there. Takes out that capturing unit there. +2 range is quite absurd. Even though some machine infantry push forward to get some damage there. Puts on top of the city there just to get some repairs going. Picks off a good number of units there. Takes on another tree there. Rivers provides 0 defense stars, so easy pickings. Wounds a lot of stuff there. Finish off that 1 unit there, and there. It looks like an overall massive clean sweep. 97,000 ending turn. Now Zhao Taitong does start the turn of 68. Zeo's another battle copter there to get a nice bit of refund. Has 29,000 in the bank, so we could see a war tank or bomber. Though there's too many anti-airs to warrant a bomber. I think more just tanks is probably best. Maybe a medium tank. Tank, medium tank. Mech. Put some good damage there. Put some machine gun rounds there. Leaving at 8% health. It's going to have to sack that battle copter there. So no command medium tank. Getting range of the anti-tank is maybe not a good idea. Trying to hit a lot of units there. Finish off that one unit. Right now, I've got 21,000 versus 18,000 as well. So Zhao Tong has a better day-to-day income as well. Triple tank. With 21,000, he can afford triple tank each turn. Battlecopter, infantry. First battlecopter for Grat. Takes out a good number of those units there. We may see a CO tank. Oh, there's a CO tank there. The medium tank will not be able to get on top of the HQ. Tank, battlecopter bike. Finish off another tank there. This veteran tank is actually out of ammo, so may just want to merge with the 7 health tank once it's done with his turn. Rat gets a good shot there. Actually, decent number of wounded tanks here. And here, finish off the tank there, trying to flip the property and do a flip. Another anti-tank. Off a couple units there. The medium tank is about ready to connect with this regular tank here. Does not take it out. Tank anti-air. There's a shot there from the battlecopter. Tank infantry. Sacks that unit there. Gets a good shot there in the infantry. Battlecopter strikes the battlecopter. There's a 4 health anti-air on the field. That tank goes down. There's also an 8 health anti-air that should be able to take out this battlecopter. Lots of stuff being cleaned up on the right flank. We do have another 1 health Zhao Tong tank. Having little infantry is kind of units isn't good. Isn't looking good. He has also a good amount of infantry, but he has a decent amount of income and just bring in tide of tanks. So I think he's just at this point in time just trying to go for annihilation victory. Grat's bringing some anti-tanks and some mechs. Anti-tanks will be a very good counter to these tanks. Is the battlecopter there? Oh yeah, I just realized something. I wondered, part of my mind is like, wait, how do you type his name in chat? And it's like, gum swaller. Don't swallow gum. The equal things you shouldn't be swallowing. Does some good damage there. Of course, in range the Anti-Tank once again. The Anti-Tank's at 1 level of accuracy, so has 6 ammo. Tank, battlecopter, bike. So mixing some battlecopters and bikes could be a good option. You think it's good booster strike there, the increased range. Rats at 39 energy. You think it's good strike there. I think let's get a good strike onto the Zhao Tatong command tank. 46 energy. Very close to a CO power. Trying to flip the comm tower. Good damage there. Tank. Another tank. And recon. 2,000 funds remaining. Grot's command tanks, and there's the Grot superpower now available. Grot's been doing a good job of our anti-tanks as well. They've been staying nice and healthy. Tank infantry. There's a number of picks over here. And Zhao Tatong has a pretty good core of tanks up here. Of course, there are surrounding an anti-tank. Can't say that's a good or bad thing. It means the anti-tank is in range. Does put this battlecopter on top of the CO, on top of the HQ to CO it on perhaps next turn. Could eye for her superpower this turn, or maybe wait till the next turn, prep for a counterattack. Rat's command tank's actually almost out of ammo. Trying to flip the comm tower once again. And this time trying to wall in the comm tower. More likely to succeed this time. But they can still go up and around. Rat's now 109 in the field versus Zhao Tatong's 75. Battlecopter 54 gets a good shot there. Another battlecopter full in field. This ATR does get a good strike onto that battlecopter. Tank artillery. Unity does get a good strike there. Another unit there down. So no CO power this turn, to say the least. And the anti-tank is quite damaged. Falls back to the HQ. It's almost out of ammo either way. It is out of ammo, so now the battlecopter can charge forward and finish it off. With it having no ammo, it cannot defend itself. Use the tank to finish off. Very nice. Use the battlecopter to strike the battlecopter. And looks like trying to pull back some tanks. Does do a bit of a merge there. Still one despicable neutral property in the field. Got 6 capture progress left on this comm tower. Anti-tank. Tank and infantry. And the comm tower does get captured, giving Grot +10/+10. Possibly. Not going for the CO power just yet, but plus the massive CO zone is very nice. Does go ahead and get a boost strike there on the tank while also trying to trap this Battlecopter. Battlecopter's down to 3% health. Tank, Battlecopter, Infantry, Mech. Good strike there. Tank. Sacks the command copter. And overall, still just got a pretty good core of tanks, as Zhao Zedong has been just pumping out these tanks. Brad's been doing a bit of a mixed play involving some mechs, tanks, battlecopters. But just straight tanks is still always a good option in general. Gets a bit of a clean sweep on the left side. Mech is a range attack there. Battlecopter gets an attack there as well. And can't really push into Grot's CO zone. And right now Zhao Zedong is at 45,000 on the funds remaining versus 96. Grot's medium tank is almost down, 3% health. His hand tank's actually almost out of ammo as well. Place the Battlecopter there. And I don't think there's any way for Zhao Zedong can get back to the game. Now he can somehow get a superpower. He's one that relies on constant value of getting rebates on his CO units. And Grot now deploys out a bomber, a +2 range bomber. What is that, B1R? Believe it or not, the United States military has, when it comes to aviation capability, the F-22 I know can go forward, spot, get a missile lock, and task a nearby aircraft to fire one without beyond radar range. It's a nearby bomber with a complete anti-air loadout, AMRAAMs. But in this case, it'll be cruise missiles, I guess it'll drop. With a +2 range. And there's a superpower there, able to get some good extra range there. And decides to gun that Battlecopter down. Strikes the Battlecopter on top of the airport. Got now Duster in the field. The Duster is actually relatively quick. Would allow her to quickly get to the front line. This high mobility unit is probably the best way to go. As the Duster can go about that far. Was that 8 tiles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Something quickly able to get to the front line quickly. And since there's so much infantry in the field, it's always quite nice to have. Yeah, but this game's ultimately over. Comswaller used to be PP Poo Poo, if I remember correctly. And he's one of those players who just simply doesn't surrender. Of course, the infantry unit on top of the HQ is not going to be captured, so we at least another 2 turns before the game ends. And of course, my chair that I recently bought is already creaking. Don't know why. Battlecopter does get a nice refund there on the anti-tanks. And not captain of the HQ as well. Just gonna go for Annihilation, no capturing HQ. I just say just end the game. And of course I do have another spam bot off of Kick. I don't know why I streamed the Kick. I always get spam bots. And while this game's going on, it gives me time to purge the spam bot. Just 2 bases remaining. And a mass 80 tanks looks like. Yep, it is very despicable. Neutral. I always wonder if anybody gets that reference I always make. Despicable neutrals. It comes from Futurama. And that is the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me one moment. My apologies, I am back. Let's see now. Not that button. That should be fine. Sort of pushed in a little bit more, and here we go. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn top on the right side as the blue whale. We got Vaporia. It's not Vaporeon. Vaporina? I have no idea, I'm overthinking it, aren't I? Spawn bottom left side is the red Judy. We got average __Joe. Either way, Judy's of course a custom CO. She does have 30% boarding cost, a slight discount there. 3 radius, no expansion, no energy, no power, nor superpower. She simply has plus 20% offense, plus times of defense, and you get plus 30% salvage for units damage, for damaging units in her CO zone, from her CO zone. Vaughn and Will, of course, is unchanged for Carja counterpart. 50% boarding cast, 2, 30, 60, 60. Still pretty much standard there, barring a bit of a smaller radius. All units get plus 10, and direct ground units get plus 20% offense. For superpower, it gets a nice simple plus 2 movement range as well. The Beyblade map. I don't see this as a Beyblade. Sorry, I don't see it too much. I don't see a Beyblade whatsoever when I look at this map. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This map's of course a Fog of War map, triple base, 1 airport, and triple seaport. Though even with triple seaport, most I usually see is a lander. I never see any actual naval play. And also need to open the drink that's next to me. My apologies. Of course, this initial capturing phase. The only thing I really have to mention when it comes to this map and this map design is, do note that every exit from this from the islands are forced, so you do have a bit of slowdown, particularly for wheeled vehicles. Oh yeah, I remember something as well. If you can give me a moment just to pause the game. Not sure if I can actually keep it playing while it's going. Yeah, I suppose the initial capturing game, I can let it go. Something mentioned beforehand, I should change the pause time from 500 down by 4 something. Yeah, I'll worry about it later. I'll just try to find it later. Either way, just initial capturing game. This map is quite large and also diagonal, makes it even farther. As seen from above, anyways. I guess on top of the Beyblade. Yeah, I still don't see it. Then again, I don't think actually I didn't really watch Beyblade all too much when I was growing up. Yeah, I didn't really watch too much Beyblade or the other shows during that time thing. What's it called? Byakugan? That was the one with like like the shooter sort of thing. I can't remember. You do of course have both players moving forward. Red is about ready to reach a comm tower. 10,000 funds in the bank, so we could see tank infantry. Yes, we will. We'll have 10,000 funds in the bank as well, so you may eye for tank infantry. And he does go for tank there as well. Judy may seal her tank. Those middle seaports are sure thing. I wonder if they actually get used in Advanced Wars by Web. Talking about these ones in Tiny Wars, nope. I've rarely ever seen any ships actually put on this map other than a lander. Landers on this map is actually quite nice. It helps you get push units forward, and particularly the fact that since there's force on each exit, it does really help out. Will does CO a tank. Judy may CO this tank down here. She does CO that other tank there, so she's going to push down south a pair of tanks with artillery support. Up north, just infantry units. Both players now claim the comm tower. And we may see some infantry conflicts next turn. Blue may push forward and get a unit trapped. At least this one here could be trapped. Tank push forward. So, the first conflicts with B start arising soon. Eyes getting signed with the force there, but a bit of spot. Nah, nope. Based on the angles, don't think that's the tree unit did spot them. So next turn we may see some trapping. Oh, we got T-Copper here. Tank. There's also a pair of islands as well as a seaport in the back corner. So a lot of properties you can claim out at sea. Battlecopter pushing its way forward. Up north, both fires only have infantry, barring this one bike. So this area, north flank, could go either direction. Down south is where both fires are really concentrating their assets. Lower now is 71,000, Judy has 80,000. Of course, his day-to-day incomes will make it pull slightly ahead, so it's turn day-to-day differences. Tank flare. Flare is always quite nice. And have they even actually technically even spotted each other? I suppose. You know, there's actually a case, maybe the case where neither players actually spotted each other just yet. Oh, I suppose this one if unit got spotted. Nice little pick there, getting some salvage. And there as well, so 2 3 units go down, getting 30% salvage. 30% of 1,500 is what? 450 times 2, so 900 funds for Judy. She has no CO power as well. Off that one infantry there. Battlecopter anti-air bike infantry. Battlecopters help reinforce the center quickly. Judy only has one battlecopter region. Good pick there. Strikes the bike there. Gains some good amount of salvage here. He does nice scout run there. Will's command tank does get knocked out. Compower does provide 3 defense doors, but that simply was not enough. And artillery straight forward as well. It's Judy making some great early kills. Now at 31,000 bank as opposed to 24,000 income, so she got a decent amount of salvage that turn. Battlecopter tank, or B-tier tank. Looks like the T-Cop position down south may just leave abandoned infantry up there. Definitely does pay for itself capturing that property, given enough 2 turns. Battlecopter tank infantry. We can always pick it up with the building a lander afterwards. Got this T-Cop now pushing up north as well. Good pick there. Artillery gets a good pick there as well. Getting some great salvage. Some salvage there. Trying to flip the comm tower. Can be interrupted. Got a nice trio of tanks there and the flare battlecopter. And we may see a CO loaded on the tank there, or I for a CO on the battlecopter, but Will supports ground direct units. So the battlecopter will only get the natural +10/+10 and the veterancy, which is nice and all, but it's probably best to be loaded up in this tank there. Get some good hits there. Both the tank and the artillery are wounded. Does have a battlecopter that can check the battlecopter. And of course, the command tank's still here, but we've got a trio of tanks. And nothing else nearby to really support him. Judy may need to just fall back and get her units out of there. Could probably sack the battlecopter and hit the battlecopter, but that's about it. ATR and Recon simply out of range. The medium tank is out of range as well. Nice little recon pass there. Allow the ATR to strike the battlecopter there. Very nice. Okay, for the central property right now, she has 24,000 income versus Will's 26. Tank anti-air, tank, and then battlecopter. So nice big deployment there. Anti-air gets struck. Got another battlecopter in reserve. This battlecopter to strike the battlecopter if the anti-air doesn't finish it off. Does use the anti-air to strike the anti-air, and of course the next anti-air does strike the battlecopter. At 46 energy, of course no possible superpower this turn because of the turn has been consumed. And out of steam as well. So Will maybe pop his superpower next turn. Takes out the battlecopter there. Artillery is basically knocked out. Medium tank does strike the tank. And does seal the next tank down here. So she doesn't have to worry about charging up a CO power. She doesn't have to really worry about losing the command tank. At least doesn't have to worry about losing it as much. Battlecopter, recon, tank, infantry. Oh, and Will pops a superpower. Gets +2 movement range on direct ground units. So you'll really charge forward, particularly from units outside its base. And a lot of good hits there, though the medium tank will be well alive. But right now it's 104 on the field versus 135. Of course, day-to-day income will be eating that out. And we've got a lander up here, infantry, bike, battlecopter. Okay, so the anti-air there. Got a good number of battlecopters near the region. Okay, so the anti-air at the anti-air strikes the tank there with the artillery. If Blue would have realized that Judy focused on those anti-airs, then should get an idea that there's actually a decent number of aircraft in the air. So apply I for more anti-air responses. Tank, anti-air tank. There's some good strikes there. Does not finish off that tank there, leaving it at 1% health. medium tank bike. Artillery does strike that command tank there. Does get hit by a battle copter and finish off by another tank there. Judy's starting to run away with the game, looks like. She right now has 136 in the field. Of course, does get a bit of salvage going for her as well. 25,000 versus 26,000. And just got flipped there with capturing this one property. And Will has not gotten to capture these southern properties, even though he has built a T-copter. So Judy is starting to get a better day-to-day income, as well as, of course, getting a lot of good passive income from her passive. Double medium tank pushes way forward. Strikes artillery there. It will also be able to strike the 8 here, but Judy has a good grasp up north, but is lacking captured infantry. Infantry, anti-air infantry, battle copter. Anti-air will strike Will's command copter, easily taking it out. Get some picks there for joint captures. And we got a gunboat down south. Trying to add to for a quick grab for these cities over there. Very nice. Recon, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Will has a command medium tank. Does take out that ATR pretty easily. Blair in the back line, wounded. Triple tank by Will. The gunboat may just stay on top of the port for now until he can get it loaded, or she can get it loaded on up. Because right now it's not going to do any purpose. It's really useful until that gunboat pushes forward. Gets some good hits there on that medium tank. Knocks it out with her own medium tank. Good strike there on that medium tank as well. At 25,000 funds in the bank. Anti-air, infantry, tank, and battlecopter. And Blue Will has resigned his anger, saying to caution, and on to next replay. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. As well on the south side as the yellow Tasha, we got Dio the Beast. While on the north side as the green Isabella, we got Yoshi Rider. Comes to COs, Isabella of course is slightly nerfed from the cartridge counterpart. 50% boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60. She provides all units plus 20% offense, 10% defense, as opposed to plus 20, plus 20. Additionally, she gets plus 2 movement range of a superpower and only plus 1 max range for her indirects instead of plus 2 indirect max range. Tasha has been buffed from the cartridge counterpart, has 50% boarding cost of 1 radius, 30, 60, 60. And all units get a standard +10/+10, and all air units get plus 40% offense, plus 20% defense, and they start with 2 movement range if they start from within or CO zone. And of course, when it comes to her superpower, she gets all air units plus 4 movement range. It allows them to conduct a deep strike. This map is a double base map, Fog of War. No, it's triple base map. In addition, there's also an airport nearby there as well, double airport. Additionally, there's also already captured temporary airports. Temporary airports do provide both air and ground hiding, and your temporary airports on your opponent's side of the map, so you can push forward, get a battlecopter wounded, and fall back to the airport, get a bit of healing going. It can easily be locked down by a missile, but a missile is still a missile, so it's very expensive. Got a decent number of bikes on the field from both sides. I guess since it's 2 base, it's easy to afford bikes. And we've got a mech in the center map by Tasha. She's probably going to load herself up in... she could be loaded up in either a ground like a tank or into something air related like a battlecopter. Battlecopter is probably the best choice for her. Capture both airports this turn. Tasha Sonic Boom because it likes being hilariously edgy. Tasha's is Sonic Boom. Oh, you're talking about like the old Sonic show? Wasn't like the old cartoon Sonic show called Sonic Boom? I don't remember. Sorry, that joke's flying above my head. My apologies. Like, I could have sworn there was like a Sonic show where they were doing also rock and roll music as a thing. Does anybody else remember that? I was young when that was a thing. There's a lot of... Sonic is always one of those series, like, I thought Sonic would die a long time ago, but it just keeps on getting dragged along. So Sonic actually becomes a bit of a resurgence for a decent movie release, and they will actually listen to feedback and actually improve upon it. I always thought Sonic was like one of those series that should just die years ago in the early Wii stages, because all those Sonic games were just not great. I would say Heroes 2 was the last good Sonic game I remember playing. That may be still the case. Got, of course, there's Isabel tank there. Does spot the Tasha recon. Tasha has no air units in the moment on the field just yet, but may see a battlecopter next turn. She has 16,000 funds with 8,000 bank. So she could go some bit more spice and go for a Duster instead. There's the battlecopter. And she can still afford a tank, and maybe infantry unit, or maybe something. Flare infantry mech. Flare's definitely a good idea. The mech is now in range, ready to engage an infantry unit there. That infantry unit gets double tapped there. Of course, can just simply pull it back, or the recon push forward, gets a good shot on him. Notice the tank up north decides just to wait. And here's another fun fact about the term Sonic Boom. Whip crack. The crack of a whip is actually a Sonic Boom, because it breaks sound barrier. And also one reason why a lot of guns make a cracking sound when bullets fly past, because those are actually usually flying faster than the speed of sound. do of course have the artillery now in range of the radar station. This infantry unit, of course, will be hidden right there. Anti-air recon tank. Or not recon, flare. My mind's melted. We'll double tap that bike there. Battlecopter will strike the tank there. Thanks to Tasha's extra mobility, is able to get a good first strike there. Artillery mech flare. Isabella does pull back her tank, joins it right there. Losing wouldn't be a massive issue, but definitely it's cheaper to do a join capture. But also, or join there. She only has one energy right now, which may have been this recon. And now we have Duster in the field. Problem is, Tasha's battlecopter does have +2 movement range, able to stay same speed as that Duster. And she does go ahead and withdraw to her temporary port there, which will give a bit of a resupply, as well as a bit of hiding there. The battlecopter will have to spot it, and the Duster has to swoop on in and start firing upon it. She does also have a flare, can reveal that battlecopter's location as well. That may be a good idea. I'm assuming this is in range? Yes, it is. If Tasha's Sonic Boom gives +2 move, and Isabella's Steel Pro gives +2 move, shouldn't they also be a Sonic Boom? Well, Tasha's CO Power provides +4 move. It's her pet day-to-day passive that provides +2 move. The flare did not fire upon the airport, so it is hidden there. Could have got some free shots there. Tasha may just want to back off of her command copter there. If decides to go way over there, gotta make sure it gets surrounded, protect it from the Duster. And once again, Isabella's tank gets knocked down to low health. And there's no tank over here to join into, so the next unit is probably going to be a tank. Isabella, or Tasha, has also captured a temporary port and down south. Isabella making some progress into the map of infantry. However, there's a battlecopter ready to act as a gunship rather than a battlecopter. Battlecopter tank and tank infantry. Mech is good strike there. Does fire a flare up there. We'll spot a whole lot of nothing. I'm not sure that's good or bad thing. Spotting nothing can be as good as spotting something. But of course, this bike there is going to be captured with this city there. Can be interrupted by the battlecopter and the Duster. Tasha's Duster is in the radius of her battlecopter's radius, so it can get additional movement range to intercept it. And this may go very well for Tasha right there. Another battlecopter for forwards. Only thing that Tasha has to be careful of is the anti-air. This can go very poorly for both sides. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Flare spots everything. Battlecopter strikes from temporary report, provides healing, or not healing, camouflage. There was a bit of extra defense thanks to the aura. Meteor maybe will finish it off. Mech is trapped on the infantry in there. Does not pick up the HQ infantry. Clearing up the radar station. Mech travels up the mountain. And now this here go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 right there. So this Duster is out of range. Not Duster, Anti-Air. I cannot think right now. Does give it a strike here. Does normally push into the range of the artillery piece. Had vision of it thanks to the radar station and the infantry there. Takes out the battlecopter there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Good shot down the battlecopter. Finish off there, the flare. There's the tank there. Another good pick there. A lot of energy for Tasha. She's at 47 energy. She may want to start preparing for air sortie and get +4 range battlecopters, effectively getting up to 10 range. Dusters will be up to 12 range. Or not range, movement. Still same difference in this situation. And looks like Tasha does go for a rocket. While I'm not usually like to see rockets, in this choke pointy area, a rock on top of the city could be quite excellent. So rocket right now, it wouldn't be half bad. Instinct maybe a little bit better. But a rocket also help cover some of these nearby tiles over here, like a rocket right here. Right here. Duster pulls back to the airport. Anti-tank. Anti-air infantry. So both players went for a powerful indirect on the left flank. This time Isabel's pretty much, or Tasha's breached over here, so they think maybe a little bit better choice. Got a nice chain of mechs here. Also got a rig deployed in the field. Great shots there. Fully maxed out CO power. And does park the Duster on top of the wasteland there, so the Inky will have the time to finish off. I don't think this Duster can finish off with one shot with 7 health. And as we one way to protect his units down south is simply sack the Duster. Does sack the Duster there. Duster does strike the battlecopter there, but only got 3 points of damage onto it. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Takes out the Duster there from on top of the temporary report. There's going to be no CO power this turn. She may just need to get just a string of battlecopters being pulled in the field. So we got a rocket locking down both choke points. That can be quite nasty. Tasha ends turn for 166. Isabel starts turn for 97, so she's pretty far behind. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Rocket strikes the anti-tank there for a very good damage. The regular tank maybe will finish off. Mech is another good strike there as well. The mech's been very effective. Rig respawning the rocket, which is also on top of the city. Another tank. And looks like Tasha's command copter will be receiving repairs. Can always vie for this temporary airport over here as well. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Also starting to capture some properties up north as well. Some flipped in. Takes out Isabel's command tank. Tracks the ET there air as well, which also prevents the battlecopter from being struck by the anti-air. Spot for Duster, parking right next to an ETR like that. But looks like Tasha's starting to charge into the center of the map. Mech is in range, ready to capture the HQ. That probably has been interrupted. The flip does spot the rocket there. And the flare may be out of ammo. One ammo remaining. Does get trapped there. Interrupts the capture there. Tank gets on top of the HQ. And Green now has resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Map. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. Not for remove this map. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on top of the right side is the blue cast, we got Dark. Spawn on bottom left side is the red Wayland, we got Cum Swallower. As the COs, Wayland, of course, has been buffed from the cartridge counterpart, has reduced boarding cost of 30% to 30-60-60, provides all units plus 10% offense and defense, and all air units get plus 20% offense and plus 40% defense, making them actually have decent defensive capabilities of the aircraft. And Superpower does provide up to 300% defense, which effectively gives like 75% damage nullification, if I remember correctly. Cass is, of course, a custom CO, does use the IDS Soldier model. We do have 50% boarding cost to radius, 30-60-60. She does provide plus 20% offense, plus 10% units for all units, and additionally, all units get plus 1 level when they get promoted. So while the CO zone goes from 0 to level promotion 2, and then, of course, gets maxed out 3. Her superpower, of course, does all that globally, but also all units get plus 1 level promotion immediately, so make sure you deploy your units out first before you pop the superpower. You get a free promotion on them. Double infantry unit there, of course, and there's an initial gun build on the map. Both players do start with recon with 0 fuel and 5 health in the center of the map. And there is a third base right here. You can't cross this way. Got double shores, of course, but got mountain range there, so infantry and mechs can. So this Wayland sword does look like Johnny Bravo. There's also a pair of unobtainable missile silos in the corner. Don't worry, they are unobtainable. There's also some airports in the center of the map, as well as comm towers in the corners. So this airport could be threatened by ground assault? Hard to say, just when it's that close to the comm tower. And it's a lot of shores of the map, so no blue water ships on this map, just the brown water ships. Force cast Whelan her first tank on the field. This could be a CO tank. Whelan, of course, would like to be loaded up an aircraft, so this airport could be a higher priority. We do have a tank up here as well, provide some presence. This base here is likely to have to be used for lines to push heavier units forward. It's quite a bit of a drive over here. It does, of course, both of these are for gunboats, so this could be just be used for transporting infantry to the center of the map. But I can see somebody investing into a lander. Of course, a lot of games where somebody deploys out a lander usually support off 2 bases rather than just the 1. Tank infantry. So both fighters spoiled the CO tank over here. Well, looks like both of them out of range of each other. The Wastelands and the Forest are causing some mobility issues. Wastelands provide 2 stars of defense, while Forest provide 3 stars defense. Whelan's tank is in range of this Cass's tank there, so I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe she really wants to get the airport secure. Whelan can take a shot from the Smith missile platform, which does provide 2 defense stars. Whelan does go for ATR down south. Tank infantry and tank. Does interrupt that capture there. Capture the comm tower. Probably should capture that before taking that strike. And this comm tower is unsecure as well, so Whelan could perhaps try to get both comm towers. But it would be hard to keep secure this one since there's so many tanks in this region. Whelan's been aggressive with his tanks. He may not really eyeing to keep this command tank alive. He may be eyeing just to get as much work done and then deploy out a battlecopter CO into. Does lose his command tank. Both of those tanks up north are 7 health for Cass. Now I got a decent amount of infantry here, including a mech on top of the mountain. Battlecopter infantry. And now we've got the Battlecopter CO'd. Gunboat's getting pretty low in fuel. You can always use a gunboat to block traffic on, say, the shores of the bridge as well. And it looks like Will's going to just occupy the comm tower to cause more issues for Cass. She right now has 6 energy in our CO zone, so nothing too significant. This will effectively get her a little bit more. Got 4 targets within the CO zone. Gunboat is in low on fuel as well. Cass is on the capital comm tower herself. She's at 34 energy now. Infantry tank. Right now it costs us 20,000 income, so does Weyland. Let's get strike on the command tank. Put some machine gun rounds into it. She could fall back with this 7 health tank and join it with the 2 health tank, or let the 7 health tank attack and then join onto what's left of it. Once Battlecopter is in the region, just have to be careful of that anti-air. It does have that anti there. Now let the Battlecopter charge forward, picks off a tank there. Some damage there. All of Weyland tanks are quite wounded. ATR pushed maybe a little too far down south. Trying to throw the counter. Can be interrupted by some infantry. But right now Weyland has a lot of stuff to continue interrupting it. Cass right now has a CO power available. She could pop it. She decides not to pop it right there. This tank seems a little bit too exposed. It's on top of open ground. I wonder if the tank and then the anti-air can finish it off. There's a capture there. Decides to go put some rounds on the Battlecopter. And Cass needs to fall back with her tank and pop the CO power. Maybe, like I said before, to get a deployment on the field before she actually pops it. New capturing. 5 health infantry unit could join capture there. So Cass may have 2 comm towers soon. Pops the superpower now. Now anything that gets killed this turn will have max efficiency. Strikes Weyland's command copter there. Weyland's command copter does have a bit of extra defense go along with it. And late deployment there, so no efficiency on those units. Weyland can range the comm tower. Should be able to pick it off this turn, though the extra defense with the superpower is always quite nice. Yep, and protects his comm tower. Takes off the good number of units up there. 2 tanks anti-air, another anti-air straight forward. And Weyland should be able to lock down that airport rather soon. Weyland has 32 energy. I think Cass's Battlecopter there will continue pursuing this Battlecopter. He should be able to live out, but it'll be very close though. Right now, Weyland does have 92,000 fuel. Cass has 78, so it's a day-to-day income, so it's still slightly in favor of Cass, but only by a small margin. Tank, 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 so triple tanks. No tanks. Battlecopter there, gonna be a join relatively soon. This battlecopter will not be able to range out of these units. If he somehow... If Cass takes out that 6 health infantry unit there with that 8 health tank, then the Cass's battlecopter should be able to range the Wayland's battlecopter. Tank, infantry, tank. And Cass did not try to go with that infantry unit there. Wayland's also trying to capture up this column tower at the moment. And getting that would be very beneficial. Oh, we got a war tank on the field. I don't know if that's a good idea. That is going to be very slow to get the front line. Wayland decides not to join onto his battlecopter, trying to get as much CO power charge as possible. And that's going to be very exposed to the 5 health battlecopter. I think Wayland's battlecopter will be going down next turn. But of course, it will mean Cass's sack of that 5 health battlecopter, which is probably worth it. Wayland has 44 energy. It's become more and more of a priority target. And here, battle bike and infantry. Battlecopter. And decides not to try to snipe Wayland's command copter. Mech, infantry. Well, that's a pretty good number of battlecopters here. You could try pushing forward his CO zone and try to get some power charge going. And he is going to do that. 6 energy there. Yep, he's going to get his CO zone charged up this turn. Or maybe not. He's not pushing too far forward. Joins there. Gunboats protect. He has 2 fuel left in the gunboat. How much fuel does a gunboat consume per turn? Is it 1 or 2 fuel? If it's 2 fuel, this thing's dead. Either way, if it doesn't take, if it takes only 1 fuel per turn, the next turn it'll be dead as well. I always find it funny how some units do explode upon running out of fuel. Naval units actually doesn't make much sense why they would die if they run out of fuel. They'll just be set adrift. Does get Wayland his CO power charged on up there. Air units I can understand because they need a place to land, though battlecopters could, in theory, should be allowed to stay alive if it lands on top of a road or plains. It would just simply, you could just make it so it can take cannon, tank and mech fire. And maybe only defend itself with the gun at most. Good amount of damage there, so no CO power by Wayland. That, of course, can allow them to be a bit hyper-aggressive as battlecopters, which could allow them to close a gap, charge forward, pop the superpower, and let the air units take a bit of fire there, and then able to act the following turn, rather than just try to go for a follow-up attack the next turn. Cass does have good known battlecopters in the field. I think Wayland and Cass should be eyeing for a Duster. Anti-tank, bite, mech. Oh, that was the gunboat exploding. It does pop his superpower. He does have the evil sound effect, soundtrack. He can be a bit more aggressive with battle copters. He doesn't have to stay out of max range. He has absurd defense. After all, if I high level these battle copters, you can see plus 320% defense. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and tank. It would make sense gunboats and landers sit safe on beaches while completely drawing fuel, but hey, gang of infantry blocking fighters. True. Not to mention this game does like the hyper-realistic fact that any unit can basically block any unit just by existing on that same tile. But it would be interesting where a landed battlecopter could at least allowed to be shot by tanks and mechs and other things that sort, make it vulnerable to more sorts of fire, and very vulnerable. It could also give the justification to have battlecopters have lower fuel if you allow them to land and also conserve fuel as well, and not necessarily the landability. Just make it so that it makes it recoverable and also justify for lower fuel count to promote more APC and grid play. I don't know. I still like the fact that Days of Ruin does have lower ammo count, which does make an impact, but also rarely make an impact as well. Because most times they're usually dead by the time they run out of ammo. And now we've got Cass's superpower activated as well. Got anything here? Good amount of battlecopters. And once again, deploys with power before deploying out units. Infantry. Battlecopter infantry. And does resign there. It's Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I have time for one more replay tonight. I also do need to use restroom once again. Please give me one moment. I'm back. Let's see now. I have nothing for me for one more replay. Feels like my insomnia is getting worse and worse, so I just don't get much sleep anymore. Or not restful sleep. And let's see. 25 turns, that should be good. I always have to be careful with this map. Small amount of turns. This map is quite large, so you do need a higher amount of turns in order for it to be actually a good replay. Minimum 15 is actually not very good idea. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Gary here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. It's on top of the right side as the Green Hawk. We got Yoshi Rider. From bottom left side as the red Wayland, got GM667_. Wayland's horse is buffed from the Carter counterpart, has 30% boarding cost from 50% to 30, 60, 60. all units get plus 10% offensive defense, and all air units get plus additional 20% offense and 40% defense. Additionally, for a superpower, of course, provides all that, but instead provides plus 300% defense for air units, effectively giving about 75% damage notification. Hawk is, of course, a custom CO in Days of Ruin. 80% boarding cost, 2 radius, has 3 expansions of 30, a later 70, and very late 120 with a max energy 120. He provides all units plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense. And in the CO zone, I don't know why I thought I just overlooked the word CO zone in that moment. And of course, he has both a power and superpower. You got the Black Wave, which only costs 50 energy, so it does arrive pretty early. And also provides plus 1 healing, minus 1 health to all enemy units. And of course, it got his superpower of Black Storm, which only is at 100% energy, 100 energy rather than the max 120, so you can store some extra energy for later on powers and superpowers. Of course, provides plus 2% health and minus 2 health globally as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Yep, this is more or less how my brief skim of replays, usually on my Days of Ruin days of casting. I just for basically about 20 minutes before, I just quickly skim through recent replays, find anything that looks like a decent length, and cast those. Of course, this map is quite large. It is a triple base map, 1 airport, technically 3 seaports, which likely would not see anything important in the field from those. And it's also slow going getting out of the base as well. You got double shores into a forest. The forest, of course, is slow for everything. And unlike previous Advanced Wars, shores do not support a good wheel movement. So wheel units are particularly slow getting out. Track units are slightly delayed with the forest. This map is a good map for a lander to quickly push units out from 2 bases quickly. Particularly these 2 bases there. There's also a pair of comm towers in the center of the map, though it's also slightly weighted for 1 player for each one, north versus south. And it's always a good idea to go for a T-copter map to claim some some isolated cities, as well as isolated seaport as well. I love how Hawk, of all the COs, for when it comes to drums, he has the steel drums. You know, the what's usually associated like Caribbean, like dun 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 dun. That type of drum. I don't know how to describe it. If that's his primary drums, the background, which is supposed to be like the happy drums. In this case, it's not happy drums. I have no idea how else to explain it. We do not have a flare deployed on the field. Flare is always quite nice and unusually powerful. Steel drums? Yeah, I thought they would call that. I just find it how it's the only time I've ever heard that drum in a not happy mood. I can't think of another song or another game or another source of media which is in a menacing tone. Yep, flares. Always good idea to have flares. Of course, we do have an early battlecopter of Wayland. He may seal the battlecopter there. The flare is probably pretty nice for Wayland in particular, so he can spot for the battlecopter. Though I say that, he goes the other direction with the battlecopter. T-copter there, early T-copter and base skip. T-Copter here as well. So both players have somewhat same style deployments. Slight differences now is Battlecopter versus Tank. And Hawk is not deployed himself up into any unit there, so he may see himself in this tank here. He is fighting against Wayland, so he should be getting anti-air out relatively sooner because the chance of an anti-air of a Battlecopter showing up is very likely. Wayland does fly anti-air as well. Battlecopter not Battlecopter, T-Copter heading up north, and the tank has been sealed. We do now have an anti-air infantry and tank now deployed in the field. Nice quick 10 energy there. Can't get any more. There's some more juicy targets within the CO zone, and nothing in the nearby radius to stop that Battlecopter. So Hawk's gonna be feeling a bit of pain there. Player could try a futile attempt to engage the Battlecopter, but this is the Wayland Battlecopter, which currently has plus 75% defense. Or 7% from all the other benefits, because if the Flare try to go forward, yeah, definitely not a good idea. Wayland, of course, is the defensive air CO, a unique aspect for all the advanced wars. Infantry Battlecopter, and looks like gonna be a base skip or go for a tank. I could either go for a anti-air, honestly. Well, he already has an anti-air there, so maybe not another one. Do you have another Battlecopter by Wayland? Does get trapped there. Anti-air artillery tank. T-Copter pushing down south, ready to pick up that infantry unit there and probably make its way over here. Hawk right now has 10 energy. Wayland has 24, pretty close to getting +1 CO zone, which will get a decent amount of power charge. Anti-air getting pretty far forward, does get trapped there. And that speed does get interrupted. Finished off of the 1 health bike and gets a good shot there. Right now Hawk is lacking a counter to the Battlecopter up north as well. And Wayland goes for a rocket. This map is far too large for a rocket. Not to mention, like I said, it's slow getting out of there because his next turn will be just moving to this tile there and take another turn to get to like right there. Anti-tank infantry, tank, and Battlecopter. Quite a bit of deployment there by Hawk. And Wayland now has the CO power available. Can make his all of his aircraft on the map bullet resistant, but he only has 2 battle copters on the map, so it's probably not super worth it. Battlecopter infantry missile and bike. I think Hawk is going for far, or not Hawk. Wayland's going for far too many indirects this one time. His battlecopter does take a good shot there and gets shot down to 9 the CO power. Wouldn't be too important CO power either way. Or I would not be deployed anytime soon because it would be just buffing the other battlecopter on the other side of the map, which absurdly. He think back there. And Wayland's starting to lose some units up north. He does have more value in the field, barring Hawk's day capability. Hawk does also have access to his power, so you should try to get as much power charge before deploying it. I think Hawk should eye for his power more often than his superpower. No real advantage storing it up. Oh, and Wayland does pull a gunboat there to project towards the city. Takes a battlecopter there. Hawks needs good power charge. Didn't pop out his power this turn. Won't get too much health recovery if he does pop it. A lot of his units just simply have full health. Some of his units are damaged, but nothing too much. He also have a rig here. Load up with infantry unit there. It goes for tank infantry battlecopter. Rocket slowly pushing way forward. Missile still creeping its way forward. And right now Hawk has more battlecopters than Wayland at the moment. Hawk has 25,000 income, so does Wayland. Got Despicable Neutral property here. And Hawk, oh, there's the power, which also interrupts the capture on both the flanks. Very nice. Leaving 20 power charge left over. He has right now 157 versus 128, so Hawk does have a bit of advantage. Of course, infantry unit inside the APC did not get affected by it. Pushes forward there with his command copter. However, there's a lot of stuff nearby, including, of course, a battlecopter and an anti-air that he does not see. Gunboat pushed down south. He has 2 gunboats? Why did he get 2 gunboats? I can understand 1 trying to capture over here quickly, but 2, that is a bad idea in my opinion. Looks like this battlecopter is at 1% health remaining. And Wayland's taking a massive beating up here. That is a sizable force here. Yeah, Wayland is losing a lot of stuff down south. Not to mention, got 2 gunboats, missile, and the missile here was not super useful. A lot of Wayland's stuff, values locked away in stuff that's not useful at the moment. And this capturing infantry unit did get smited by the battlecopter as well. anti-air flare medium tank. Gives good strikes over here. We've also got Duster by Hawk, which is a little bit overkill currently. There's a Wayland's Battlecopter there. I got 2 gunboats in the field, and I have no idea what they're supposed to do right now. I understand the one, but not the second. A rocket's getting hit there as well, so the rocket is knocked out. Wayland has 110 versus 191. A severe deficit. The missile will be in range of that battlecopter there. Takes a Duster. Hawk is now at 40 energy, so he can pop a super power or a regular power next turn, which is probably a good idea. Get a bit of damage there, pop it, get a bit of global damage, as well as a health regen. Anything in range of the battlecopter, might as well take a shot. I want to see Hawk's power relatively quickly. I'd say he should pop it soon. Pops it right there. Finish off that unit there. Pulls battlecopter up north. Finish off the anti-air. Strikes the tank there, spots the missile. Was no and not going to be able to shoot that battlecopter within its minimum range. Of course, sitting on top of the city, so we'll get mandatory repairs. Wayland's at now 98 versus 197, so he's down by twice the value. That's almost game ending, or generally is game ending. You guys have a command medium tank on the field. Tank. T-Copter. Tank infantry. There's a shot there on that Captain infantry there. Gets another shot there. 12 energy. Not really like Wayland's increased energy is going to be very useful since he has no aircraft in the field. Will get +10 global and larger CO zone for that. Of course, this rig has a temporary port there, but the flare is currently occupying. Battlecopter there. And looks like T-Copter is almost out of fuel, has 21 fuel remaining. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. The rocket's now at 8 health, so it's recovered a decent amount of health, which was expensive to repair. The gunboat goes all to the bottom left corner. I still don't know what the purpose of gunboat now. I don't even... It's just not even worth repairing it at this point in time. Infantry, bike, anti-air, battlecopter. Weyland is trying to even out the issues of being behind. Missile gets struck, so now he can push forward his various aircraft a bit more easily. A 1 health missile may not even do 10% damage to the 5% battlecopter now. Actually, I don't know how much damage a 1% missile actually does. A full health one would actually one-shot a battlecopter, so probably would do 10%, maybe 12% damage. Get some good picks over there. Losing a lot of stuff. Can probably seal the battlecopter in return. And Hawk does have access to boost power again. And looks like he does go for a rig and bomber with double infantry. It will do 11% damage. It does not take the shot. At least top 4, so it will take 2 actions to take it out, possibly. Rocket does take out Hawk's command tank, so no more power. Ooh, the T-Copter got trapped by the infantry unit there, and so of course can't unload. Could be a dead T-Copter. The Battlecopter will go up there and shoot it down, or the anti-air will. And tank takes out that tank there. Nice spotting from the flare. It looks like they have a clean sweep right now. I don't think there's much Weyland can do, but it has 80,000 funds on the field versus 100 or 240,000 pretty much all the day-to-day. He has 31,000 income versus 24. Game to me is ultimately over. Artillery, infantry, tank, and another bomber by Hawk. Weyland's turn. Tank. Probably a third tank. Artillery. Flare spots a whole lot of nothing. Is that a good or bad thing? Hawk's at 50 units. I actually don't know what the unit cap. I think the unit cap in Days of Ruin is actually higher than 50. It's also could be set by per map, so I have no idea. Either way, hawking out these bombers is a good way to just end the game. You can also be in position that you can pull out an aircraft carrier and eye to bring in seaplanes along the flank. Takes out Weyland's command copter. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, infantry, so you can go above 50 units. And Wayland does resign there. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last